Well, last week there was quite a few blunders of games. Like they weren't the best games, but we're getting here close to the holidays and the NFL is like, hey, let's put together a hell of a slate of games here in week 14, week 15, week 16 as we get down here into these last few 4 weeks of games. And so I think we've got a pretty good slate of games that we're going to choose here for our games of the week. But there are actually quite a few games that we're still missing from this that we could have included here. But we'll start off with my game of the week here. We've got the Lions and the Bills playing in Detroit for my game of the week. It is a battle of the two of the top teams from each division or each conference, and we're going to see if the Lions, with their 18 players on injury reserve, can really be contenders here to close out the season. Bills coming off of a huge loss in LA. So they've got to kind of right the ship there. Their defense, which has primarily been a strong suit of theirs this season, really just let it go, letting 44 points go from Rams. And can they get it back together? I don't know, but one thing I can tell you for sure is Josh Allen is going to find a way to at least keep his team in it. I just don't know what to think about the Lions defense here with so many losses continuously happening.
This could be like an attitude game from the Bills. Like they could win it just from like purely being pissed off after losing to the Rams. And for that, as a Lion, I could be like, ah, shit. Like as a Lions fan, like, God damn, like I would have rather the Bills have beaten the Rams and thinking they were really, really good. And possibly like, get them for that instead of like, now you got them pissed off after a loss. That's tough. Don't need that. Um, do the Lions have just looked so good for the most part all year, right? Like, um,
Yeah, what
I
better
don't,
team to go ahead and smash all the confidence the Bills have coming off a loss than the Lions, the
I
Dan
know,
Campbell led Lions.
I know.
We're
I
gonna
mean, like
it's
for
gonna be
the
a
sake
hard
of the
fought game no
AFC,
matter
I'd like
what.
the Bills to win, but like for the sake of like the NFL is awesome and the Lions are awesome, I kind of want the Lions to win. I don't know.
The
I would
Lions
love for
run
the
will start
Lions to
running
win
out
this
here
one.
soon too. I mean, what it's
Well,
11
I know,
straight
yeah,
wins
you
now.
guys are Chiefs fans.
It
You
would,
fucking
yeah, it
hate
would
the
help us
Bills.
out.
And
Of course it would.
And I saw this meme earlier. This is the Super Bowl that I think a consensus of NFL fans,
Everybody else wants.
right?
yeah,
Yes, but we're gonna get you guys against the fucking Eagles again. That's what we're gonna get. We want this. This
It's
is what we
looking like
want.
it.
We're gonna get you guys versus the Eagles.
But I hope this game lives up to that type of expectation. On paper, this should be like game of the year esque,
Hmm.
considering both teams play to their potential. There are a lot of analysts and color commentators out there that want to continuously bring up the Lions' injury problems, but almost every team out there has injury problems. The Lions are well coached. It's always going to be the next man up mentality with a team that's run by Dan Campbell. And, I so far dealing with the injuries, proof is in the pudding. Like they're a fucking good team.
The thing is offensively it really hasn't hit them, right? The injury bug. They've been able to keep the offensive line, all their skill positions, Jared Goff, right? But it's all on the defense. You've got Aiden Hutchinson. They just lost their safety a couple weeks ago. They've got 18 guys on injured reserve right now. And so I get it. It's Dan Campbell. It's next man up mentality. I think he's a very good coach that there's almost no other team out there, almost, that would be able to get this sort of production out of a team with this many injuries. And he's one of the coaches who can. But at some point, the injuries are going to have to stack up and become a problem. It may not be in the regular season. It may be in the postseason, and maybe the offense will be able to kind of overcome whatever the defense may not be able to. But at some point, the injuries that are happening with the Lions will catch up. I just hope it's not this week against the Bills.
Yeah,
Mm.
it would certainly help us out if that was the case.
With the way that the Bills defense played last week, I would not be very surprised if they continue to follow that trend.
Give up
Be run all
another
over,
40-point
Do
game.
give
you?
up
Yeah,
another
I was gonna
40
say, do you think
points.
Josh Allen's gonna have to fucking go off for them to just have a chance to win again this week, or
I
what?
think this has the possibility of being the highest scoring game in NFL history, way higher than the Rams Chiefs
Do we
game
know
2
what
years
that
ago.
one is?
Rams Chiefs.
54-51.
I I agree with you, Sean, to an extent that it could be, right? It could be. But until I also see the Lions defense start to falter, because again, we're expecting it to happen at some point, but it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, but if
Until
you're in
I
a
see that
shootout,
Lions defense falter, I don't think
Yeah.
Josh Allen and the team that they have built around him is going to be able to compete against the Lions defense. This Lions defense is not the Rams. Okay, they're not going to be able to go and put up 42. If it's a shootout because the Lions are scoring left and right, the Bills are not going to be able to keep up on this defense.
they may not be able to keep up, but if you're in a shootout, it's going to get high scoring quick and things can explode. Crazy stuff happens. They get some defensive turnovers for touchdowns, a couple punt return, kick return, stuff like that. This can get high scoring really fast.
And any plays, any turnovers, any like high impact plays that you make on defense are just going to be magnified in a game like this.
Yep.
Offenses are going to be working well. They two of the best offenses in the NFL. So the plays that you make on defense are going to go a long way in this game. If they get stops, if they get turnovers, whichever team does the most of that is more than likely going to win this game.
I'm really upset that this game is not in prime time. There's a few games on this slate that should be in
Probably
prime
should
time
be,
that are in
yeah.
the 325 hour. We have two bum games on Monday Night
We
Football.
do. Sorry.
And sure, let's
Sorry.
leave the Raiders there on the
Hand
on
up
the later
accountability.
game.
Sorry, everybody.
But
Sorry.
let's give the Bills and the Lions the earlier 7:15 Monday night game, or give them the 7:30 and move the Raiders to 7:15. Who cares? Like, let's put some of these games that we got coming up here that are gonna be great games. Let's get these into primetime games. Like NFL, what are we doing here? This is a big loss on your side.
Game of the year at 3:25 on a Sunday.
I mean,
Could very well be.
some people are watching. There are only two other games on the 3 o'clock though.
Three other, I believe.
There's,
no, it's 7.
I thought there's
5.
3 total. There's 2 others. Yeah.
7 and 5. 7 at noon, 5 at 3:25. I believe.
There are 5 at 3:25. No 3:05 kickoffs.
Oh, okay. Because there's no 305s. Okay. Yep. So there's 4 other games going on. I mean, most people are probably going to see it. I mean, you got to think that's going to be one of the nationally broadcast games. Though,
No,
right?
it will be a nationally broadcasted game
So,
for sure. It just deserves to be the magnitude of what it is. And if the Bills lose, then the 1 seed is basically out of reach in the AFC. Unless the Chiefs like just fall off the face of the earth. The Bills, there's no way that they can get the number 1 seed. So the magnitude that's
the
on
Steelers
that,
are also 2 back as well.
the Steelers are also 2 back. Well, but also the Vikings are only 1 game behind the Lions, and they play them again later this year. So like magnitudes of seeding, this should be a primetime game.
Yeah. To fucking TiVo it if you can't watch it. TiVo it like it's 2011. Tybo, got anything to add for the class?
Said plenty about this fucking game, dude. It's your game of the week up next.
You sure?
Open your eyes a little bit, Tommy.
You sure that's it? You sure?